Hey, welcome to Cow Free Kicks. I hope you had a nice Christmas and a happy new year. If you've not seen my videos before, I do leather free sneaker reviews on this channel, and this video is all about a new release from Nike. It's the Nike Flex Experience Run 12. Welcome to the channel. If you've not seen one of my videos before, I always look into 5 different categories that I think are really important when you are buying a new pair of sneakers, and they are looks, comfort, weight, breathability and price. And then at the end of the video, I will give these Nike Flex Experience Run 12s an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. And if you've not done so already, please take the time to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this video off as we always do by first checking them out on feet. Currently available in 4 different colorways via the Nike app and website. For me, these Nike Flex Experience Run 12s are a definite improvement looks-wise on their predecessors, the 11s. To start with, I much prefer this larger swoosh that you get on the middle of the foot that runs all the way towards the low-cut ankle. Previously, they just had the 2 smaller swooshes like you get here on the inside of the foot, but I like the fact they've enlarged the one on the outside of the foot, and it's a solid TPU line now rather than a broken swoosh. Just for me, it looks better to have that larger swoosh. They've added some TPU on the outside of your little toe here on the toe box for extra durability. As you move towards the rear of the sneaker, you've now got this additional heel pull, easy to get your finger in and out of there, and that really does help to get these shoes on and off because the foot entry hole for these is quite small, and because it's a low cut ankle, you don't quite have as much wiggle room, so that's good to see. On the tongue of the sneaker, they've changed the embroidered Move to Zero logo and added this tab, which I think is quite a nice touch. It feels quite nice and soft, almost like a neoprene type material. And at the bottom of the sneakers, you do still have this lace tab with the additional swoosh that you got on the previous version. But I do prefer the look overall of this softer material that they've used this time as well. Feels softer, less kind of scratchy and less bobbled. They've gone for smaller heat sunk rectangular bobble detailing on this textile upper rather than the larger circular detailing on the previous version that did feel a bit rough to the touch. These do feel definitely a lot softer. And another thing I really like what they've done with the shoe is the silhouette is a lot lower and more low cut towards the toe. Last time when they were on feet and in hand, it was quite bulbous and quite rounded, the laces and the toe box area, and I just think it looks better with that lower profile on feet and in hand. And lastly, what they've done is they've added improvements to this Flex midsole unit. So it's the same Flex midsole unit as on the previous version, but what they've done here is they've added more cutaways on the midsole unit that is creating more flex. And you can see here that they're incredibly easy to bend and flex. And if you look at the outsole, the Flex midsole unit also creates the outsole. There's no additional rubber on the outsole of this sneaker. As you can see, as I'm flexing it, these cutaways will break up and create that flex. And they've gone for a rounded approach towards the heel with an additional swoosh just to create extra grip with that rounded detailing. Overall, I just think looks-wise, they're much improved on the previous version. And now I really want to test out their comfort by putting them to the test on my back door step. A really nice result in the comfort test. You can see when I put these to the test on my back door step, I got a nice amount of give and responsive bounce back from the middle of the foot and the heel. It does taper off a lot towards the toe. That's mainly because you've got a lot of these slits here for the flex ability of the midsole, but also if I hold these closer, this does break into 2 different areas, this midsole unit. Now the midsole itself that's under your foot runs on this bottom panel here, all the way through to the rear. This part here that runs up into the upper of the sneaker is actually there to create extra support for your feet and stop foot shift either side. So it's just adding an extra barrier on either side of your foot so your foot doesn't shift so much left to right, and just adds a bit of extra stability to this soft upper. So underneath your feet, you're not actually getting as much midsole as you might expect when you first look at them, but they offer such great comfort under feet. Really nice amount of cushioning, really nice amount of responsive bounce back, and the amount of flex that you get from these just makes these so easy to walk in. And it just felt like I was almost being propelled a little bit as well once these pinged back a little bit. It was just such a nice experience underfoot that I don't think they could be improved if you had more midsole unit. Now, they're not the most cushioned and they're not the most bouncy, but the amount of cushioning you get from the midsole really I don't think could be improved anymore. And just really, they're a joy to have under feet. And now on top of your feet, you have an extremely large amount of padding around this heel here, and also the tongue is nicely padded too. That padding continues throughout the shoe towards the toe. On top of your feet, again, a really, really nice amount of padding. They do feel secure, even though they've got a low cut ankle here. They do feel secure because the heel rides up quite nicely, and the amount of padding you get really does kind of clamp your foot in that heel. And I do think that you get enough of a pull here to get a really nice stable feel to the top of your feet. Now, they do come a little bit tight. Now, I've got perfect UK length size 10 feet, and my feet are a little bit wider than average. This toe box here is a little bit tight, and they do taper off into kind of a finer point here. So there is a little bit less room in the toe box than I would like, but I do like quite a tight fit on my shoes. But if you don't and you want that extra room, please do go half a size up. Overall, a really, really nice shoe to wear comfort-wise. Now I want to move on to their weight, where I want to pop them on the scales. Tipping the scales at 266 grams. That is an increase of 7 grams on the predecessors, but really you're not going to feel that additional 7 grams, and they do come in at an incredibly low weight. I consider anything around the 350 gram mark and below to be a lightweight shoe. Anything above 400 grams, you go in heavy. Anything below 300 grams is an incredibly lightweight shoe. So to come in closer to the 250 gram mark than the 300s, these are incredibly lightweight, and that does add to the comfort for these, because when you're wearing them, it does feel like you're almost wearing nothing on your feet. And with the additional comfort that you get from this midsole, it just adds to the overall feel that they're really, really nice and cozy on your feet. And the weight is going to be brilliant if you're wearing these as an everyday lifestyle shoe, because they're not going to weigh you down at all. Now I want to move on to their breathability, where I want to pump this heat sunk upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. Not the greatest result in the breathability test, but it does show that they do offer nice all-round breathability. You can see that the smoke escaped in large amounts from every area, from the middle of the foot and the toe box as well. Now, there's no actual perforations that you can see by looking at these up close. This is kind of a closed upper material, so the smoke didn't escape as quickly as it would if it was like a full fly knit, for example, because there's no actual perforations that you can see here, and also there's no additional air holes that they put in the toe box to help that heat escape. So whilst they did look like they offered huge amounts of breathability because the smoke really flew out from the lace area quite quickly, the actual material area of the shoe, it did struggle to come out a little bit more. Now, I did give their predecessors 5 stars on breathability, but looking back on it, it was probably more of a 4-star score, which is probably where I'm going to sit with these. Now I want to move on to their price. Now, these will set you back £69.99. So £70 I spent on these, and that is, according to Nike's recommended retail price, a £5 increase on the predecessor, the 11s. Now, put that down to whatever you'd like, probably inflation. It might be the fact that they've improved the looks or added some extra materials to the shoe. I'm not sure if there's more weight in the midsole than there was previously with that additional 7 grams, but it could be down to that. But overall, in this current market, I think paying £70 for a shoe that offers as much as this does in terms of weight and comfort and looks and breathability, I think that's a very, very, very fair price, and I don't think that £5 increase is too harsh from Nike at all. And that's going to bring me on to my overall score for these, and it's going to be a big 5 stars for the first review of 2024, because I just think for the price, everything that these offer you, and hopefully it will come out in a triple black colorway, because then they'll look really sleek, really stealth. I just think you can't get much more for your money. That £70 price tag, I don't think Nike could have done any more with the shoe, possibly made it a little bit more breathable, but overall I just think they've made some really nice improvements to the predecessor, and really I couldn't do anything else but give them 5 stars. Now if you've liked what you've seen today, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. You can also follow me on Instagram, but hopefully I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye.